Hey, my name is Frederick. In this video, I will introduce you to the CPC or the Children's Product Certificate. And yeah, I'm just going to go through everything that you find on the article on our website, compliancegate.com, one by one. So the first question is, what is a Children's Product Certificate? And I got one right here. It's just a self-issued certificate where you as an importer certify that your imported product, a children's product, is compliant with a list of ASTM and other product safety standards, okay? And you also need to provide information about the testing company. You need to provide information about when and where the product was manufactured. So in a way, you could say that this is the front page of your CPSIA compliance file, which is then also supported by a test report. Now, which products require a CPC? And it's basically, well, anything that's marketed or in any way presented as suitable for children aged 12 years or younger. So it applies to everything sold to this entire age group, be that toys, furniture, backpacks, or yeah, anything really, okay? A question we get a lot is if you need a CPC for every single product, and well, you need it for every SKU, all right? So say that if I'm going to sell this phone, I'm going to sell this watch right here, then I will need two CPCs because these are not the same product. But I wouldn't necessarily need that if I'm selling this watch in gold, silver, and blue, for example, as long as it's the same product and I have test reports that can support that I've tested each variation of my product, okay? Now, what information do I need on the CPC? And the most straightforward way to find out is to go to the CPSC website. They provide a free template that's hopefully also up to date. But just to summarize what you need on this document, you need information about your company as the importer. That's number one. Number two, you also need information about the product and product name, SKU, like ABC 01. It's up to you how you name your product, okay? You need information about different colors, other variations that are covered by the CPC, okay? And number three, you need a summary of the ASTM and CPSIA standards that your product has been testing according to, okay? And this must also correspond with whatever you have on the test report, okay? So you cannot claim that you've done lab testing that you haven't done, obviously. Number four, you need information about the testing company, and this has to be a CPSC accepted testing company. So not any testing company is good enough. It has to specifically be a accepted one. You can find the list on the website, okay? And for the record, it includes companies like Shima here in Hong Kong, BV, that's Bureau Veritas, SGS, Intertech, and so on. We've got quite a few to choose from. You also need to specify when the product was manufactured and also the location, all right? Now, another big question is, who is actually responsible for issuing this document? And well, the CPSC specifically refers to importers and domestic manufacturers, referring to manufacturers in the United States. Now, if you're importing products from this part of the world, from mainland China or Vietnam, then in practice, in real life, it's you as the importer that has to issue this document, okay? What this means is that you need to, one, use the template, tweak the template. You have to, of course, put your product name and so on into it, print, and then just keep it. You can keep it as a file on your computer. You can have a printed copy like I have here. What matters is that it exists somewhere in the universe and you have the CPC and a test report to back it up, okay? Now, do you need to get the CPC approved by a third party or the CPSC itself? No, you don't. The Children's Product Certificate, it is issued as a self-issued certificate, but it doesn't require any third-party approval or signature or anything like that. That is not a license. If in any way, easiest way to describe what it is to, it's a summary, really. It's a front page of your CPSIA file. That's the way I would describe it, okay? And that means it doesn't cost anything to issue this document either, not more than the paper and the ink. That's pretty much it. Okay. Now another question is that on Amazon and the CPC, does Amazon require a CPC? And it's likely that if you're watching this video, the reason you know about the CPC's existence is that, well, Amazon told you so. That's getting quite a lot of leads and questions about this lately. And well, the situation is that Amazon is rejecting listings if you cannot provide a CPC and also a corresponding test report. Okay. So without that, without this document, if you just have a test report and you don't have a CPC, then you may not even be able to list your product. But you can also be, the US Customs, for example, can request that you provide a CPC, and you shouldn't be surprised if your freight forwarder, for example, in Hong Kong, like not inside the US, will request a CPC from you. So there's no reason not to, just issue one. Just be careful. You need a test report, and that test report needs to be issued by a CPSC accepted testing company, and it must apply specifically to your product. Okay, so you can't use a outdated test report or test report for a different product, even if it's made by that supplier. Okay, they're very, very strict on that. Now, if you want to learn more, and you're currently on our website, and just scroll down, you can find a CPSC template at the bottom of the page. If you're coming in from YouTube, then you can follow the link in the description. So that's everything I have to say about the world of the CPC today.